now for updates on sports stories across the globe. Aaron Akere Jola, the Baron, joins us. Good morning, Aaron.
A very good morning to you, Vimbai. Good morning to you, Ayo. Good morning to you,
Really?
I'm so sorry. I did for me.
It's okay, no, let me just go. Let's go get it over.
I did for me.
You know what's on his mind? You know, a lot of Man City fans didn't want Arsenal to be.
This is what it is. I should have known.
So he is thinking that Aya is going to attack.
No,
him.
so
But
now there's
So
something
Aya
called
is in Ghana.
there's something called muscle memory. So usually when you just come in, you always I just always have to say I don't have to think about it.
But all your prayers did not work. Arsenal, my gunners, should prepare.
Fantastic.
London is London.
I don't know if you've been doing a fantastic job this morning.
Thank you.
Yes, you have been. You have been. I must say that. And I know you mentioned Arsenal at the beginning of the show. And we have something massive, of course. Arsenal yesterday.
It's massive.
Dominated.
It's massive.
Not only just dominated,
It's massive.
also obliterated Real Madrid, the supposed Champions League royalty in that particular clash.
Red handkerchief.
Okay, yes, we had to put a touch of red, yes. Of course, Martinelli scoring. Yeah.
After the first leg last week, that Arsenal was going to score on Real Madrid home ground and beat them.
So I must say kudos
not surprised.
to Arsenal, beating them home and away, convincing 5-1 victory on aggregate. What else can you say? Bukayo Saka, of course, engineering that particular one, celebrating. And if we are to press it even further, you get to see that at the moment, Arsenal are looking good for the money and they will be hoping that they can actually do this. And this is a tweet here that Arsenal are the only club to have been drawn against Real Madrid at least twice in their history in the European competition and not been knocked out. Real Madrid are the comeback kings, but not against Arsenal. Thierry Henry back in these days, if you still remember that particular one, I think it was back in 2006.
2006,
yes.
it was.
And
went all
right
the way
now,
to the final that year.
yeah, so it seems the odds are in favor of Arsenal. Okay, let's press it further. In the Champions League, of course, in the other game that was actually played, it actually ended 2 apiece between Inter Milan and Bayern Munich on aggregate 4-3 with the Italian outfit talking about Inter Milan actually going through to the next one. Pressing it further, so right now we're sure of the semi-finalists: Arsenal, Barcelona, Inter Milan, and Paris Saint-Germain. And these are the set of fixtures that will be happening home and away for that particular one, if they can actually help us press it, because Arsenal will be taking on Paris Saint-Germain at the Emirates for the first leg, and the return leg will be in Paris. And not forgetting Barcelona against Inter Milan. Inter Milan right now are looking like the strongest team amongst us 4 because they seem to be the most balanced team amongst them. And quickly, we must actually just put it into context. When you look at how it is, everyone seems to be talking about this particular tie as the marquee tie and the blockbuster fixture in the semi-finals. We'll keep our fingers crossed. But in the meantime, in the Premier League,
Arsenal will beat PSG.
I think so.
Arsenal will
If you'd
get
ask me,
finals.
I think so.
It's their finals to lose. I predict Arsenal will win the Champions League this
It
season.
will be difficult, but let's see how it goes.
See, Aaron, that's why it's not good to lie. On my Facebook page, 9th April, check if been by. Arsenal will score 2 more in Madrid.
Okay. So,
Got the prediction
Octopus Rufai there.
9th April, on my Facebook, Arsenal will score 2 more in Madrid. On the 9th of April, I predicted.
All right, quickly in the Premier League.
For lottery numbers.
I don't do that business.
Rufai, 4-time in the Premier League, of course, Newcastle United have not stopped. They've not taken the foot off the gas. Ever since winning the Carabao Cup, they just are pressing it on. And yesterday, 5-0 against Crystal Palace. And down in Murphy, and not forgetting Alexander Isak, all shining like million stars. A 5-star performance, some would say, but not so much for one man who right now seems not to be able to catch a break. His name is Nima Dos Santos Jr. Once again, he's on the sidelines again. Yesterday, visibly in tears, feeling the pain. Injuries have blighted his career, and injuries have stopped him from reaching a certain level of greatness that he should have been able to attain. But it's unfortunate. That's football for you, where he felt this particular one visibly in front of his home team, of course, in his club, his boyhood club, Santos. He thought he could have gone because he just came back from another injury. He hadn't played up to 30 minutes when he was also sent back again. And quickly, Rufai, we are going to Ogun in May, and at the moment, the DG of the National Sports Commission, Bukola Lokpade, he's saying that Ogun is ready to host Nigeria. That they're 95% ready to host the Nigeria sporting community. I'm hoping that with everything that is going on, all the renovations, all the facilities that are being built, that sports in Ogun State will begin to blossom and we'll begin to see things happen because facilities have been built for this particular competition. It will be sad that it goes to waste because you can actually see new basketball courts. There are about 2 new basketball courts, badminton courts, volleyball courts, handball courts. All these are being built fresh. Some of them are being renovated, and they are saying that we want to host Nigeria and give a befitting games. Let's get to hear from him. Just speak briefly.
So we need to thank the governor of the state, Governor UCL. I also know that a lot of golfers in the state's indigenous have reached out to the commission. So I'm using it to commit the commission that they feel of the equipment that you requested will support you. So we need to thank the governor.
There's one in Djibouti, there's one in Shagamu, the Gateway Stadium is in Abel.
All right, that's just about it.
No, so like I said, Ogun's ready. See, kudos to Otumba Gbenga Daniel and successful Ogun State governments. They built a lot of infrastructure. I know of the Gateway Stadium in Shagamu, the Gateway Stadium in what's it called in Djibouti.
Okay.
These are infrastructure you have across board. The MK Abiola Stadium, which was turned to be Gateway, which was the home ground of Gateway United at a point, at some point back in the days where Rashidi Yekini even came to play, has been used for international tournaments.
Yes.
I think Nigeria hosted a female, African Cup of Nations of some sort. And if my memory serves me, some of the games were played then when it was spanking brand new. And apart from that, across the state, you've got infrastructure here and there. You've got, the sports club in Abeokuta, the tennis hall, what's it called? The tennis court in and around that Isalekbeyi area. If you drive straight down after the governor's office area. So you've got bits and bobs of this infrastructure. And like you said, it's just an ability, how you're going to use it. And that's why, even in Ikene, for instance, Remo Stars has got a great pitch.
Yes,
kudos to Shoname that built that pitch.
One of the best in the Southwest.
One of the best in the Southwest. So you've got massive infrastructure across board. But what we need to do is we need to now get more teams that will play in stadiums like the Djibouti Stadium and the stadium in, Shagamu, week in, week out. So we have constant action. In fact, that stadium, a portion of it in Shagamu is now used for the NYSC core members. So I think Ogun State is ready. We're ready to hold the Gateway State. Please come.
So then you're not saying we. You're not using the word we. Okay.
To host all of you and give you a good time.
Yes.
There's ikokore. There's many good food.
We're ready.
There's
We're
ebripo. There's a gusi jebu. There's a bar.
How about
Come and eat.
I will.
You're welcome.
okay?
Thank you for that great endorsement for sports in Ogun State. Aaron, I'm sorry to take us backwards, but I think this is very important because when I don't think we've had you in studio since the passing of Charles Chukwu.
Christian Chukwu.
I don't think we've had you in studio. And the story that's circulating is that as of the time he passed, he was still owed over $100,000 in his salary.
The Nigeria Football Federation have vehemently denied that.
Okay.
I'm not sure of the records, but if coaches say they have been owed, because Fatai Foloshamao, the man that was famed for his days in Julius Berger back in the day, talking about the football club, says that he's still being owed at almost every level. We are not, the truth is this, it's unfortunate that several people are being owed and these things do not go away. Because at a certain time, ITAO came in and tried to mitigate this particular problem by saying that we'll pay them directly. But that did not still help because Genotron, remember, took us to CAS because he was being owed. And that has been a lingering problem. I hope they find a way to make it up to the family. So if they are saying they're not even owing them, they're not owing him as a person, they should do something for the family because it's on the back of people like that the Nigerian Football Federation, they didn't start it, but they started the winning streak that went on to become great things.
When they made the statement, when they denied it, had they done investigations? Because, I mean, why would a man of that stature come out and say that he's owed such a huge amount of money?
Big question.
In fact, to buttress your point, there was an interview he taped before where he had talked about the fact that they were owing him. And kudos to the likes of, people that were out there for him, the likes of Otedolas of this world, the likes of Amaju Pinnick, that picked up his bills, and Segun Odegbami, But these people too, Aaron, are also national award honorees in this country. So what do you do for your national heroes at a time like this? When they are down and out.
Now, see, the point is that was why this thing happened a while ago. Some people might have felt that you're just tooting their own because when Alan Omoyema came out and said that he wanted to celebrate this particular set of people, people said it was long overdue because several of them fall through the cracks. Several of them just slip into oblivion and they are never remembered and they are never being given that recognition for the younger ones to know that it's whatever you're enjoying today, it was built on the backs and the sweats of these individuals.
Definitely. Very quickly, I know we've run out of time, but definitely looking at the Premier League, I think what Newcastle have been able to do, like you said, after winning the Carabao Cup, is actually quite inspirational. And I think that this is a great thing about sport. For so many years, people would just have like a cult following, a native following, but when you're actually able to see your team succeed, it does feel very good. So huge
Saudi money. Saudi money.
Well, there is that.
Take that away. Saudi money.
Big, you get big. So it's definitely that. So huge congratulations to Newcastle and of course to Arsenal. We're hoping we go all the way to the final. You were right.
If Arsenal stops playing football right now, I think Arteta has done enough this season because people were almost hanging him to dry.
Okay, but not this season.
I think he'll win it.
I believe so.
I
believe so.
If we're not going to get the league, we'll get the Champions League.
I think it's for them to lose. It's the Champions League for them to lose, and I want them to win it.
That's how it goes.